Here's your first warm weather forecast first. Sponsored by the Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
It has been just an absolutely gorgeous fall afternoon. Lots of sunshine and that clear sky that is going to continue here as we go through the remainder of this evening. In fact, really hard pressed to find much cloud cover all across the United States as that ridge of high pressure builds up to our north, allowing those temperatures to warm this afternoon in the 70s. Made it up to 72 degrees today. That number now cooling down to 63 in Rockford, 61 in Freeport Monroe, 63 in Janesville, and we're currently 64 degrees right now down in Dixon. We will continue with that clear sky as we go through the remainder of this evening. Temperatures will dip down into the 40s here for the start of tomorrow. 70-degree temperatures, those are going to continue through the next several days. Let you know when we finally see the numbers cool off. That is coming up in your first warm forecast a little later.
Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
I think everybody should go out and vote, especially young people. I think young people need to get out more than ever. Just they want to see change, get out and vote.
After months of back and forth between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden, it comes down to today.
From the presidential election to local races, voters across the state line are getting out to make their voices heard. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. It is Election Day. Thousands of voters have already cast their ballots, either by voting early or mailing in or dropping off their choices.
But many got out early today. In fact, Winnebago County Clerk Lori Gummo says when the polls opened at 6 a.m., there were long lines of people trying to get their vote in before starting their day. She also says they have seen many people register to vote at the polls.
The more people that vote are participating in the decisions of which, our country or even our county is going to be doing going forward. And that's vital because if you want to have a voice, this is the time that you have that option.
When we asked about comparing this to the last presidential election, she says it's not possible, that this is something they've never seen before.
The Rockford Symphony Orchestra helps provide a soundtrack at the polls. That's principal cellist Mike Beert. He and his wife, who plays the violin, performed some classic tunes from Mozart to the Beatles. They played for an hour at Our Savior's Lutheran Church on Rural Street this morning, which is also a polling place. Beert says, with the tension surrounding this election, music can bring everyone together.
Life will go on. And yes, it's hard for artists and musicians right now, but that doesn't mean that art and music can't be a part of our lives. And also, I think what it does is music helps relieve stress.
This performance is part of a statewide effort. Musicians also played in Chicago, Springfield, and Carbondale.
In Boone County, some voters took to social media to vent their frustrations over some mix-ups at polling places this morning. Michelle Rave talked with the county clerk about how voting is going there.
Voters in Boone County were eager to cast their vote today as they continue to file in to their polling place. Many voters told me the process went quickly and easily, but there were a few minor issues. At one polling location, voters were told they had already voted when that wasn't the case. Boone County Clerk Julie Stapler says each polling location receives a list indicating when ballots were sent. She said the report was misread as people who have already voted, but she personally stepped in to handle the situation.
So once I went down and explained the report, everything was fine, and all the people who were there, I actually called them out by name. I had the list of people who were doing that, and they were still able to vote. So we rectified the situation first thing this morning, and we've not had any issues there since.
Coming up at 6, voting in the time of COVID. Hear from a voter about the precautions being taken during the pandemic. Reporting in Boone County for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
The polls close at 7. Remember, as long as you're in line at 7, you can vote, and your vote will count. Also, be aware that in Illinois, you can register to vote on Election Day at your polling location.
We'll be following several races closely tonight, but at the top of everyone's minds is the race for president. President Donald Trump's looking to secure a second term. Former Vice President Joe Biden hopes to take over in the White House. That race is expected to come down to a few key battleground states, including Wisconsin. Illinois voters are being asked to make a change to the state constitution. The so-called fair tax would change how your state income tax is determined. If approved, a graduated income tax would be introduced, eliminating the current flat tax. Supporters and critics have spent millions of dollars on campaigns hoping to sway voters. We may not know the official results of those races for a couple days or possibly weeks, especially the ones that are close. A record number of voters cast their ballots well before today. In the state of Illinois alone, 2.35 million mail-in ballots were sent out. 500,000 of those still haven't been returned. Ballots have to be postmarked by today to be counted. Election officials warn those could cause delays in final results. Some vote totals could change as mail-in ballots arrive.
A record number of voters are expected nationwide as well. The candidates for president spent their election day making a final push for last-minute voters. Robert Sherman has more.
Voters coming out in droves for the final chance to cast their ballots in the 2020 election.
This is really an important day.
People across the country braving long lines during a pandemic to choose between two opposing visions for America over the next 4 years. Most saying it's the most important election of their lifetime.
People have to realize the freedoms that are on the line.
And as voters make their voices heard, President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden make their final pitches, hoping to win over undecided voters. Biden spending the day in his birth state of Pennsylvania, pushing for every possible vote.
The president's got a lot of things backwards, one of which is he thinks that he can decide who gets to vote. Well, guess what? The people are going to decide who gets to be president.
And he will watch the results in Wilmington, Delaware. Meanwhile, the president making an election day stop at his campaign headquarters in Virginia before heading back to the White House to wait for returns. The president sharing a message for those who didn't vote for him if he wins another term.
Everybody should come together, and I think success brings us together. I think we're set for tremendous success, and success is going to bring unity.
Long lines were not the only problem recorded at polling sites. Some experienced opening delays and sporadic equipment malfunctions.
That was Robert Sherman reporting. Be sure to catch all our local election headquarters tonight. ABC News coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. with local cut-ins from Eyewitness News. More local election coverage at 9 p.m. on our sister station, Fox 39. Alexis Carpello will be live at the Democratic headquarters, while Hannah Zettel is hanging out with the Republicans tonight. Then switch over to live local coverage at 10 right here on WTVO 17. And as always, you can find the latest local election results on our website, mystateline.com.
The COVID positivity rate for every county in Region 1 is up.
In fact, our area now has the highest numbers in the state. The 7-day rolling average is 15.3%. Boone County once again has the highest number at 20, followed by Stevenson County at 17.7. Winnebago County is also up. 15.5% of all people tested for COVID are testing positive. There's another free COVID testing site in Boone County tomorrow. People can either drive through or walk up to the county administration campus from 9 until 5. It's on Logan Avenue in Belvedere. Again, this is for anyone who wants to get tested.
You might have noticed we've moved into some new digs here at Eyewitness News, and actually to say we're excited would be an understatement, probably,
yeah,
right?
Pretty much. As you've already seen today, it's offering us some new ways, visual ways to tell stories. It's been more than a month-long journey just for the construction to get to this point, and we hope you'll agree that it's worth the wait.
It's really, I still remember the moment when I first walked in here and saw the finished product. And you and I have been doing this job for a long time. We've been through plenty of set changes.
Many.
This is pretty amazing. We hope that you enjoy it as much as we do, and that same initial reaction that we had when we walk in here. You know, our business is very, obviously we have content, we have information that we want to present, but we also, it's a visual business, and we hope that the way we can present this to you now is very visual, and you'll stick with us.
That's right.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Thank you so much for sharing in your fall photos over the last several weeks. This beautiful one coming in from the Halsteads down in Byron. Gorgeous fall color. Just absolutely love that. Although when you look at the trees outside now, you notice a lot of the leaves coming down with the wind and the rain we've had over the last several days. But very little in the way of rainfall expected this week. In fact, our skies are going to stay nice and clear and those temperatures warm as well. A live look with our Mercial SkyTrack camera now. Out over downtown Rockford, looking to the south, you can see how that clear sky is going to continue. And the sunshine we had today really allowed those temperatures to warm for us this afternoon. 72 degrees, that was our high in Rockford, 69 in Rochelle, 68 in Freeport, and 72 our high temperature in Janesville. Those numbers cooling off just a bit for us this evening. Now a few spots down into the 50s from 59 degrees in Freeport, 63 here in Rockford, and 56 our current temperature down in Rochelle. Our weather watcher Bob checking in last hour just before 4 o'clock this evening. At a temperature of 68. You notice that dew point number 35, so a little more on the dry side for us here this evening. Mike, our weather watcher, just north of Forreston, temperature of 61, clear sky, no rainfall. And in fact, our skies are going to stay pretty clear here through the end of the weekend, possibly straight through the weekend. But with that temperature making it into the 70s today, let's talk about just how rare it actually is to get 70s during the month of November. 3 or more consecutive days of 70-degree high temperatures in November. We have to go back to 2008. And November 2nd through the 5th. That was the last time we had 3 days where we had 70-degree temperatures. Now, 5 or more consecutive days of 70-degree highs has never happened in the month of November. 7 or more, again, has never happened. Now, while we might see the numbers dip coming up on Thursday, looks like we'll see those 70s continue to round out here through the end of this week and possibly into the weekend. Record high temperature for tomorrow, 74 degrees. We'll still stay a stone's throw away from that. Could get close to our record high, though, for Friday. Forecast high at 72, record 74, set all the way back in 1924. Let's look at when the last average 70-degree day typically occurs, October 28th. So we're actually a little bit delayed with that. Earliest 70-degree day, September 28th, 1959, and our latest 70-degree day, November 21st, all the way back in 1913. Now, we will continue with that clear sky. In fact, high pressure building up to the north as that ridge of high pressure continues to build all the way into Canada. We do have an area of low pressure over the southwest. This will meander in our direction later this week, tomorrow night into Thursday, but with such dry air in place, we're going to stay dry, just a little bit of cloud cover from that. So our temperature tonight down to 46 degrees. Winds will stay from the southwest. A little breezy for tomorrow. High temperatures back up near 70 for the afternoon. Winds will be gusting in from the southwest as we head towards about 15 to 20 miles per hour. We'll start the day off with some cloud cover on Thursday, highs near 69. And then look at that, guys. We stay in the 70s here as we go through the remainder of this week. It'll actually be pretty nice. Our next chance for rain doesn't return until we get in towards the end of the weekend, but likely early next week.
We don't have too many November weekends that look like that.
Oh, it's just been gorgeous.
But when that drop happens, you guys are going to feel it. We go from the 70s into the 50s.
We'll talk about that later.
That's right. Let's just enjoy what we've got now.
Thanks, Candace. Scott's in now with sports.
COVID-19's blowing up all our college football and the NFL. Scott?
Yeah, the dominoes keep falling. Games that are on the schedule today might not be tomorrow. The Packers running back corps is taking a major hit because of the virus and protocols, leaving some people questioning if their game Thursday night should go on. We'll hear what Aaron Rodgers thinks of that. And another game bites the dust on the Badgers' schedule.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lepper.
Well, the Packers are now down 3 players going into their Thursday night matchup with the 49ers due to COVID-19. Yesterday, we learned that running back A.J. Dillon tested positive. Now, fellow running backs Jamal Williams and linebacker Kamal Martin have been placed on the reserve COVID-19 list because they were in close contact with Dillon. So with Williams and Dillon out and Aaron Jones still doubtful for Thursday with his calf injury, that's going to leave practice squad back Dexter Williams and receiver Tyler Irvin as the Packers running backs. Aaron Rodgers was asked today if he's okay with the game being played Thursday with a COVID case now on the roster.
Yeah, I don't have any reservations about doing it. Other teams have dealt with it throughout the season. You know, again, we're getting tested every single day. And we know the results by the end of the day usually, or the nighttime. We're just trying to, be smart about our interactions, where we're going outside of work, and just understand this is a part of it. This is the NFL in 2020.
So the game will go on Thursday. The kickoff is set for 7:20. You can see it on Fox 39. COVID is still a major headache in Madison. The Badgers have now canceled their second straight game this weekend against Purdue. 15 players and 12 staff members are still considered to be active COVID cases. Barry Alvarez says there has been some improvement in the testing numbers, but not enough to resume normal football activities. And the Fighting Illini are dangerously close to ending up in the same boat as the Badgers. They had to sit 14 players, including starting quarterback Brandon Peters last Saturday, because of 2 positive tests and contact tracing for the other 12. The Illini are scheduled to host Minnesota this Saturday, and Lovey says his team can't lose any more players.
We can't afford to have another group of players go out. We're right at the border to be able to really, practice the way we would like. That's why we have to really concentrate and stay in the protocol and do what we're supposed to do to be able to continue to play ball.
Our first warning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We'll stay pretty quiet here as we go through the next several days. In fact, all across the country staying fairly quiet as those temperatures warm into the upper 60s and low 70s straight through the week. But you can tell when our pattern begins to change early next week as you see that drop from Monday into Tuesday. That'll also bring us a chance for rainfall too. Until then, just get out and enjoy the nicer weather.
This is the weather we were supposed to have last month, so it's nice to have.
And a month ago, yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Candace. And thank you for spending a little time with us. Stay safe.